Lou, how do you see this? Does it hurt confidence? We've gotten 2 readings on confidence just in like about 6 days. Conference Board and University of Michigan that were weak in the knees, to say the least. But does it hurt confidence because you're constantly highlighting a problem, or does it help?
No, I think you have to get out in front of it, because I think you have a split screen, right? The government's looking at the charts that show prices are going down specifically for individual items, but families, they're looking at the receipts, right? They're not focusing on maybe a specific item, but how much is their total spending, and they're just not feeling that those prices are going down because the rate of inflation has just started to cool. I do think you have to focus on good advertising then as a offensive to prices eventually coming down. When you look at sentiment data, I don't put tons of weight in that, because if you look what's happened since May of 2022, consumer sentiment has been up and down like an EKG, but personal consumption has been steady Eddie the whole way. So people say they feel one way, but they act another. They still find ways to spend. Consumer spending wasn't great, but it's still solid and resilient.
Do you think talking about prices coming down is the right thing to do? I get nervous about that. There are some prices in the economy that will come down. Gas prices might come down. Certain food items might come down. But overall price level only is going to come down if you get a really big, painful recession. So I know that's like it's the easy way to. I'm just saying. Can you talk about wages growing faster as a substitute for that? Or does that not resonate? That's a harder thing to understand, like real wages. But truthfully, I think that's the only thing you can do, because if you want to bring prices down generally, it probably means that you're going to have job loss and recession, and that's maybe worse than the situation.
Yeah, so I think you put your finger on the right thing. You should be talking about wage growth, except we don't have much wage growth. So you have to focus on the fact that prices are going down until the economy picks up. I would say the positive data point here is S&P 500 companies, record margins, 13.1% profit margin means there's plenty of money to pay higher wages. We just haven't seen it yet. So.
And can I address the second part of that, which is that you have to address the elephant in the room. When a socialist is winning election for New York City mayor because he's addressing it with crazy ideas on how to fix it, if you sit back and gaslight like the Biden administration did, it's just not a good look. So I appreciate the administration facing this head on and saying, listen, we hear you. We've been working on this for almost a year. We're continuing to work on it. Here's what we've done. Here's where we can do better. Here are the actions that we're taking. Me personally, as a consumer, as a citizen, when I hear that, I don't want to be gaslit. I want to hear that solutions are in the works, because, as you said, we all know what we're feeling. When you would sit there and hear Kamala Harris and Joe Biden tell you that there wasn't an inflation problem, yet you were paying astronomical prices for goods and services, and you knew it. It really is a problem. I think that's one of the big reasons that they lost on the economy, why Kamala Harris lost specifically, because whether you like it or not, she was part of that, and she was part of saying that this isn't actually happening. Don't believe your lying eyes. So I think the strategy on it is correct. It's to say, we hear you. This is real. We're working on it. Give us a little bit more time.
And 2 points. There are ways where you can lower prices, right? And this comes back to how we get there. You could do big government social spending, or you could do lower tax, lower regulation, more competition. So the antidote to a free grocery store that we know doesn't work, lower the regulation in New York City, lower all these minimum wage requirements, more competition will come in, and I guarantee grocery prices will come down, right? Because there are 2 grocery stores on my block. I'm blessed to live in New York City. I can price shop. Last night, my husband and I were talking about the ingredients we needed to buy today, and I said, what about this one? He goes, no, the other one is much better. Go to the other one. The prices are better. So more competition, I think, the Republican way would bring down prices. Second point.
So you're talking about deflation, actual deflation across the economy, or just categories?
Through more competition, not a drop in demand, which I think is much better. I don't know if then in economics that doesn't really work, because I know that deflation means you're in a recession. But if you just boost supply or competition, I think if you're competing for $1, if Walmart and Target are right next door to each other, market theory says they will lower a race to the bottom to get my dollar. The other point, I want to be careful here, Dagan, I think rightfully so. You've told me on air, it's not the government's job to tell me how many dolls I can buy, right? If Trump says you're going to get $1 instead of 10 and it's going to be better quality because it's made in the USA, you're right. That is not the government's job to tell me how to use my money. But in the spirit of Thanksgiving and the holiday season, if we're also thinking about, yes, we are a consumption-based society, but if I'm thinking about more family-centered time, more faith-based time, and less buying, is that, I'm not saying that high prices are good, but does that not reorient us big picture to be thinking about how I am using my resources? Do I really need all the stuff? Or is the reason for the season more family? Now, jump in, because I know it's not government's job to tell me that.
Well, it's different if you talk about it than somebody in the government and they're implementing policies and then saying, well, you can suck it up if you don't like our policies. Don't be, I had a family member who lost their job because of the trade policy, because of the tariffs. The store at which this individual worked shut down, and it was a small, independently owned store. And my family member now has to work for a super duper mega large chain, which is a horrible job. I'll just say that. But it's different. But I hear you. Absolutely. One thing I wanted to bring up, and this is a jump ball, in terms of what we are running a mega massive fiscal stimulus plan. The numbers came out after the show ended yesterday on what the budget deficit was for the month of October. So the government shut down the entire month of October, and the U.S. still spent $689 billion. That was up 18% from a year ago. Even if you make adjustments for payments that were made in October versus, say, November, the number was still flat, and it was more than $500 billion. It was $584 billion. Social Security, Medicare, and interest on the debt. And you know who gets the interest on the debt? The wealthy Americans. Top 10% of Americans own most of the U.S. Treasury debt. So this is and then we were running a budget deficit of $284 billion. That's not adjusting for the payment schedules. And the interest on the debt was $104.4 billion in the month, which is higher than the average for all of the fiscal year last year. What on planet Earth are we doing? What are we going to do if there's a slowdown in the economy? And we need fiscal stimulus because we're spending crazy as if we're in a recession.
Yeah, I hate to say this, but it's like, you know how animals go extinct? In Washington, I think the idea of a balanced budget is completely gone extinct. It's never going to happen. We're on a hamster wheel, and we're playing a game of relativity with all of the other countries in the world. You brought it up. The wealthy, 1% are going to keep buying debt from us if we need it, so we can keep servicing that. We're just going to re-stimulate and stimulate more and print more money. And as long as the European Union is in the same boat as us, and Asia is in the same boat, we're going to have to keep doing this. And I think it's a very dangerous game to play. This government shutdown should have been the time where discipline returned to Washington, fiscal discipline, but it didn't.
But there is that one company bringing back the woolly mammoth. So maybe we can get that company to bring back some politicians who want to balance the budget.
The $1 trillion coin.
Technology could solve that.
We need to de-age the population and get all of the retirees off of Medicare and Social Security, because those are the people who are doing well. The wealthy who get the interest on the debt, they're receiving those payments and are just flush with money, and retirees because Social Security and Medicare. And don't tell me that that's not a gimme. It is. You're taking $3 for every dollar just in Medicare that you paid in. I will wrap it up.
I don't think we're getting any younger, though. That de-aging thing is going to be tough.
But that's a thing. That's actually a thing,
Really?
right?
Can I get younger?
Staying young. You look.
I've seen these guys who do that stuff.
Really good plastic surgeons can do anything you want, Brian.
He looks 15.
Snapchat has great filters.
No, I'm old enough to drive. Come on.
Or 18. Pipe down, Bremberg. What are you? Speaking of young, dressing young.
Let's do
Taylor?
it.
Yeah, go.
Not me, but the company, right? Urban Outfitters jumping 10% on the day. Pub quiz. Do you guys know Newly It is the rental clothing brand. It's part of Urban Outfitters. They had revenue jump 49% year over year. Basically, it's a rental service where you can do Free People, Anthropologie, or Urban Outfitters, all of the companies that Urban Outfitters, the umbrella company, owns. So it's sort of like that rental service. You get rent 6 items per month or whatever you want. Basically, that's fueling some growth, but overall, the namesake brand in particular doing very well. Third quarter profit was a record. Revenue was a record, earnings per share nearing a record. So you're just getting companies like this firing on all cylinders. But this, to me, skews a little bit higher end.
I was just going to say
Bingo. So weigh in on that because Free People, it's expensive.
Yeah, Urban is on the lower end, and I haven't been in an Urban Outfitter since I was in high school. But there is a Anthropologie near here that I peruse through every now and again, and it's not cheap for what you're getting for the quality of the goods, and so it tends not to be a place that I shop at. But the price tags are higher than you would expect them to be. So we're not talking about a TJ Maxx here or bargain basement Kohl's situation. We're talking about a higher spend. So if you're telling me that consumers are going to Anthropologie and they're shelling out those dollars for that quality of goods, that still tells me they've got money in their pocket or they're willing to put on the credit card.
But they can rent it now, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's kind of
You
nice.
can also get wedding dresses at Anthropologie.
Yes, you can.
I'm not surprised by this. A friend's daughter that graduated from college has built a rental app for women in colleges where you can exchange clothes across campus that you don't use. It's called the Raid app, and she's blowing up. She's on 20 different college campuses
That is
across the
amazing.
country.
What's it called, Raid?
It's called Raid app. Yeah, Kenneth
Raid.
Joy Forstall.
Like RAID.
Like Raid.
RAIDE.
Like raid.
Oh,
We're going to raid your closet.
Raid is the stuff you use like on ants, so you don't want that.
I immediately thought raid the closet, not raid the ants.
Right, exactly. But
Got an ant problem, you'll think.
But
of
to
it.
this note, Kohl's, Abercrombie and Fitch, Dick's Sporting Goods, and Best Buy have all raised their forecasts. So people might be grumpy, but they're out there shopping to get the grump away.